What's going on, Stoop crew? It is Spawny Mark here with On the Stoop, yet another Friday happy hour. I'll be covering for that mighty Lolo, who's out on assignment right now. He's out trying to discover exactly how many beers he can drink. I actually have no idea, but it is going to be me and a few other guests tonight. And it is, I am ready. I am ready for this. I have beer. I have beer here, and this is a Carlsberg I learned about for the very first time while watching a soccer match. It was this crazy commercial where it was like, "This is a good beer." So, if John, if you're out there, crack one with me.
It's already cracked.
He's already cracked and poured.
And I heard you guys were going to talk a little Euros, so I had to have a Peroni.
Hey, there you have it. Because soon the airwaves, cheers, John. Soon the airwaves will be filled with Italians. At least that's what I've been told.
Exactly.
Maybe they'll eat some pasta, sing an opera, lose a war. I don't really know. It has been a crazy,
say that
again. Oh, shit. He's going to have me whacked. I'm going to have to watch my back. I'm going to pack a suitcase and head out to the West Coast until the heat wears off, until this whole thing blows over. Not really, but it has been a very, very crazy football week. It didn't seem like it would get any better this week than this past weekend with all the goals that were scored, with all the drama. We had Chelsea and Brighton, an absolute VAR shit show. We had Liverpool and Fulham goals galore. And then, of course, we had the 3-3 draw of Man City and Tottenham, which provided us with this face. A very angry Erling Haaland screaming at the ref why there wasn't continuation. And I gotta say, I do not blame the man because that, to me, I could not believe it. But by just looking at that face, he looks like he's a demon about to devour the entire stadium. But if there's anything that I learned from that face, it is that once Haaland retires as one of the greatest strikers of all time, he can get a gig in a Japanese theater where he can do kabuki. These are the jokes, folks. Try and stay with me. That crazy weekend went into the midweek where we saw, we saw what happens if you cook your rice an extra minute. It tastes just that much better. Poor Luton. I really thought that they were going to have something that they would talk about for centuries, decades, generations, whatever it is. We had Everton taking their anger of that 10-point deduction on Newcastle, keeping the clean, not only keeping the clean sheet, but beating them 3-0. Two of those goals in like the last 15 minutes of the match. We had Tottenham being Spursy again against West Ham, and then of course the aforementioned Man City getting beat by a very decent, although unpredictable, Aston Villa football team. We have someone that has not been on the show for quite a while. We are very, very excited to see him. He is one of the co-hosts of We All Love Leeds. Let's bring him in here. We got Ben Ireland tonight. What's going on, Ben? It has been a long time. So good to see your shadowy mug.
I can turn a light on if you want.
Oh, why? We don't go changing. We love you just the way you are.
It illuminates my tree.
Hey, that's exactly
it. It's good to be back, mate. How are you? You well?
I am very, very well. I couldn't be much better now that the last couple of matches against Wolves we've been allowed to play and we've lost, honestly.
Yeah. Well, you get.
Although we did beat Burnley, so there's
and you did miss one massive game at the weekend.
I've mentioned this to Tom a million times. I can't watch leads anymore because the world doesn't allow me to. I don't get.
You should get membership to the LUTV app. You can watch it worldwide on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, $9.99 a game. It's
how much a game? $9.99 a game.
Top
per
value.
view. Oh, that's
view.
Expensive. That's like
it.
that. Is it? That's like $200. That would be $200 a season. No, it'd be $400 a season.
Last season,
get a lap dance with that.
It better do my dishes.
If you want, John.
It better do my
get a lap
dishes at
dance
that
with
price.
Or get IPTV. You must be able to get it over there. Chipped Fire Stick, you know.
Yeah, I always do look every once in a while. I can find it on on ESPN, and
You'll
everyone
on
say
YouTube.
Again.
You get the 10-minute highlights about 2 hours later on YouTube. If you go on EFL highlights, that's all you need.
Yeah,
to see,
really. But I actually like watching the game.
Yeah,
you know, I might try and watch it tomorrow. You guys get who? The Blackburn Rovers. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, early kickoff. Yeah, early kickoff.
Yeah,
12:30. So 7:30 your end.
Okay. You gonna take care of them? You've been taking care of everybody else.
I'm confident. Yeah, a lot of people are a bit. I can understand why it's not an easy game, but I'm confident.
Yeah,
we should
it seems like the Rovers. They no sooner do they beat someone that's kind of worth a shit, and they turn around and lose to someone that's I'm not sure who's at the bottom of the table, but didn't they recently lose to someone that was like at the far bottom?
Oh, Chef Wednesday.
Yeah.
Chef Wednesday.
Yeah. See, I still follow, and I definitely watch your show. When I can. Yeah, they recently.
I think Leicester or Ipswich are away at Middlesbrough. One of them are away at Middlesbrough. That's a tricky game for them. So.
Yeah,
we beat Leicester. Yeah, we beat Ipswich.
You guys are on the road, right?
Yeah, it's yellow ball for our show this week.
What's that?
Yellow ball for our show this week.
Yellow ball.
Yeah, if you notice the top corner, when we're away, I have a yellow ball. When we're at home, I have the white ball.
I never noticed that. I'm gonna have to pay attention, just so I know when and where that match is. Pink Cushion has joined us. He has given us his very best imitation of Unai Emery by saying "Good evening," which I always thought that was just a joke. And then I actually watched his presser after the Man City game, and I was surprised to say to see that he actually says that. We got a couple of other guests joining us. Thank God. I didn't know if these guys were going to show up, but we've got Tony the Tune, and we've got Gary from Don't Waste the Tweet joining us here today. How you guys doing? Bringing you on fast and furious.
Hey guys, I got my tree up too. My wife and I just did it today.
Oh,
fantastic! I have yet to do any decorating. Only because I refused to do it before the 15th. So I've got another week to procrastinate and decide whether or not I'm going to put up a tree. My wife is she's allergic to pine, so I refuse to get fake. So I'm always kind of like, just get some. I get some poinsettias, but I feel bad because I always end up just throwing them out.
I know you can keep them, the other day.
I don't have the ability to save them. Gary, how you doing? You're awfully quiet.
I'm doing good.
You also look like you don't have heat.
Yeah, I've got heat.
Is it raining? Is it raining in your house?
No, it's fine. I just feel like having a hood up. That's all.
Yeah, you look like you're in England here with us freezing with the radiators.
It's cold outside. The floor I'm in is really it's really warm. The heat gets trapped right there. Go downstairs, it's a couple degrees cooler. So I don't know. I just felt like wearing my hoodie, and I didn't take it off. So hoodie's up.
Hoodie's up.
Hoodie's up.
I had my hoodie on earlier today, but that's only because it was like freezing cold. The heat here only comes on at like 4:00 in the afternoon. John,
see, the hoodie's up.
John's all hoodied up, and then like by the time we go to bed, it's just like it's roasting in the apartment. Speaking of roasting, is it getting hot in Manchester? Are things I don't really know how to put this, but I guess you know what? Are they roasted? Should they come out of the oven? Are they done? Man City. They
They're
have
not done it.
dropped.
It's
They are
6 points.
in the absolute worst form that I've seen in a really long time.
It is, but you've got January coming up, and they
Sure.
will spend money.
Only got 3 losses.
Yeah,
They're
it's
right,
draws,
they're, right,
isn't it?
they're right where they need to be. I mean, I think they
But
probably
the
don't want
draw.
to have.
The good thing is the draws are coming against the top teams, so they're taking the points off them teams as well. What
Yeah.
I want to know is what the fuck happened to Newcastle midweek?
Oh, it was awful.
Oh, that was a tough one. I think and it makes the most sense to me in this sense is that Daesh is basically told his team take the 10 points personally, you know, and they're playing really well ever since they've had that deduction. They've been playing with and they should playing with a chip on their shoulder. You know, if you were to take those 10 points and give them back, I love that beer. I almost got some of that beer today. But I went with the Carlsberg. It is a good beer. It is a very
Danish.
good beer. Yeah. But
Well-
man,
How expensive is the angling there?
They sell it on base, so I get it at the base.
Oh, okay.
I think
First
it was
base,
like
It's probably cheaper.
first base or
24
second
for
base?
a 24 pack.
nice.
Mark, speaking of Man City, they have Luton today. Do you think Man City's going to break the Premier League record for goals in a game by scoring 12 against Luton?
No,
Just
I don't.
The rage of
Sure. Of Erling Haaland, the rage.
yeah,
You know,
he
he hasn't been himself the last few games. I'm not saying that Luton can stop him or control him, but of the teams that are like, you know, down there around relegation, they're the most promising. You know,
Luton will
think
take it. They'll take it one way or the other. They'll either come out feeling sorry for themselves from midweek, or they'll come out wanting to prove a point. They're not an easy pushover.
Is
Liverpool
Luton-
found
I know.
out,
Is
I know
Luton
they're
home?
not
Where's the game played?
the Arsenal game was at Luton, so I'm assuming this would be at the Etihad.
No, it's at Kenilworth Road.
Oh,
Okay.
really?
So they're going to be pissed, and their fans are going to be up for this. So
It's gonna be a violent crowd because I felt really bad. I felt really bad for Luton at the end of that because I thought they played well enough to win, but you know that's football. You know it happens, but you know I want to go back. Tell me why you don't think City is done. Tell me why. Because
they were 11 points off last season.
We've seen it in the past where you know they are notorious slow starters. You know, at this point last year, I think they were 12 points back and they won by 6. But this season feels different for some reason. You know,
They
and
lost
I
key
just
players and didn't replace them. And
yeah, I just want to I want to hear what people think. You know,
I just think they'll buy in January, and they're not done. You can never count them out. Not when it's only 6 points. I know it's only 20
and
goals.
I remember a
or
couple
something,
years
but
ago
they can score 20 goals in 4 games.
Yeah.
I think they're just figuring things out. That's why. Because you know, I listen to some of the Manchester City fans, and they just they don't understand what he's doing right now, Pep. So I think they're not that far away. They're just trying to figure out what they've got with those new players, because they do bring something different for sure. They do have talent. It's just a matter of getting it, you know, figuring out which what mode to put them in, what rules to give them, what instructions to give them, and all of that.
Mhm.
As long as they're in the top 4, I think they're fine. If they have to try and jump over 6 and 7 teams because they start, you know, failing a little bit, that's a lot, right? It's a lot of teams to jump over. everybody has to fall over, as opposed to last season where only one team had to fall over. Now they've got two. Now they've got 3 teams that need to fall over for them to catch, or 2 teams right now. So, yeah, and then we don't know if KDB is going to come back. If he
What
comes
team
back,
was that, Gary?
I don't know. I actually really don't know what happened. We don't even talk about last season, do we? We just talk about what's happening now. We're all in this now.
Living in the now.
Right?
You're living in the now.
Yes.
So I have a list. It's just like 2022-23 Arsenal bottles it. 21-22 Arsenal bottles it.
I'm not buying that Gary's being positive about Arsenal. It's just
It's the hood.
I would be. I would feel.
I think everybody's saying we're not playing like last season, but we're still getting points. Is it sustainable? All of that, and then when City comes around, and nobody else is going to come around, right? Liverpool's not playing as good defensively, right? If they play, Newcastle's having ups and downs all season. I think it's the wear and tear of. I think it's the wear and tear of like World Cup and stuff like that. It's just coming back, and now everybody's
about
seeing
Mr. Good Evening.
Yeah, and Villa looks like they want to play too, right? They want to come in and play in this top 4.
Right.
So there's a lot of. I think this is what you want, though. This is what you want. You want parity in the league. You want teams at least thinking they have a chance and showing it when they play well, right? So
right. You mentioned something kind of interesting there, Gary, and as far as like fatigue, and you mentioned the World Cup, but is it possible that that City is facing that fatigue just within their team? I mean, they've been playing a lot of games, not just last year, not just this year, but the year before and the year before. Is it just are they just worn out because they have played like twice as many games, 3 times as many games as everyone else, or is it maybe if it's not fatigue, is it the drive? Is it there anymore? We won the treble last year. There's maybe not that hunger to go after it as hard.
Nobody is running away from them, right? They're not like losing games by 2 and 3 goals consistently. So a ball here or there, a call here or there, right? I mean, they had basically a one-on-one. It looked like on a goalkeeper, and he got called back. And so you don't know what would have happened, right? So they're not that far away. A couple of luck goes their way, and they could have had wins instead of draws, right? So, it's a long season. It's a very long season. We'll see where we're at when it comes to New Year's Day, when everybody's played, and we've played everybody. I think everybody's played once. I think so. We'll see how it all pans out then, and then we'll see who comes in January, right? Who gets healthy? Who actually gets picked up as a transfer? It's a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, no, it's not over until it's over, and it's not going to be over for a while.
Well, it never is. Tony, what's your thoughts on it? Are they just worn out, or maybe they just don't have the desire?
No, I just think the big teams, not even the big teams, just anyone wants to come up and play tough against them. So I think they still have a lot left in the tank, and it's still too early to count them out. So because they all know what it takes to win. And what was it, February a couple of years ago when Liverpool were ahead of them, and then they slowly crept back. So this was like April, then I would be like a little more concerned for them, but I think they'll be, I think they'll be all right. So
yeah,
February 1st, I'll be happy because for all 4 of us, the window will be closed.
They're gonna wake up at some point.
Yeah.
They are.
They have Red Star, they have Luton, they have Palace, and then they go away to the Club World Cup, and then Everton, Sheffield United. I think they'll be all right.
All we can hope is that they've got double-digit points to catch up, and that's the only thing we can help.
I don't think that bothers them. They had double-digit points last season.
Yeah,
they just reeled.
Not towards the end, though, right? When was it 10? It wasn't 10.
We're not towards the end. We're not towards the end now, are we? So it's there's two pretenders in that top four for me at the minute. One's top of the league, like last year, pretending, and the other one's Villa.
We're not pretending. We're right where we're supposed to be. You need to stop that talk.
I gotta say that I'm
defensively. I
kind
think
of-
we're fine. Offensively, I think that's the struggle. That's why everybody's saying they don't look the same. You know,
I think that's the same with City right now. City don't look the same up front. It's not like they're conceding more goals; they're just not scoring as many. Once they find that balance again, that's it.
he's muted, so we can't. Yeah, whatever you're saying, John, I love it. Oh, there's somebody behind you. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
I
it's my
said-
wife talking.
You can't give your maid the night off while you're on.
Oh, damn! He said that loud. Oh, is that
No,
couch
she's fixing
comfy?
the stocking.
Is that-
She's
is that-
fixing the stocking.
Is that couch comfy? Because you might as well just lay down. Just
Tell John lives
don't
alone.
even bother
Guys.
going upstairs or wherever the bedroom is. Just go to sleep.
No. I don't think I would call either of those teams imposters. Honestly, I don't think I would call anybody in the top 4 to top 6 imposters. I think they all deserve to be there, and Gary refers to them as that team. I'm just going to call them Spurs. Given injuries, they are playing. Spurs are playing very, very well, and when they get healthy, they're gonna have something to say. I truly
they're
believe
in the same
that.
spot as Arsenal. last season.
They are
Arsenal.
very similar in. I'm not going to say they're similar in talent, but I'll definitely say they're similar in style of play, and there are players in positions that Spurs are missing right now that if the tables were turned, I think you would see the same results from Arsenal. We saw last year what Arsenal was without Saliba. Spurs have lost Van de Veer, who was fantastic for them until he pulled that hamstring. Can you imagine where Arsenal might be right now if they lost both Saliba and Rice? Because that's essentially what happened. That's what's happened to Spurs. They lost Madison and they lost Van de Veer, and then they've had some other injuries, but they're not as nearly as important as I thought those two injuries were.
That's
So-
like
I was trying
having
to say
12 guys out.
they've got a
That's a good
starting
question
11.
about Jimmy there.
Nobody thinks they have the depth though, right?
How
So
does
that's the
AFCON
same way
affect the
Arsenal
top
was
6?
last season. They had a strong 11, 12 players, but after that, there's a big dip, and we've seen that with that team, right? They lost a couple of players, and the quality is gone, right? So they need the depth to get through a whole season.
Yeah. I think they're a little deeper than Arsenal was last year.
They're not. Look at where they've lost.
But those,
Look at
but
their
those
record the last 4 games without the players you're talking about. That
okay,
shows that they don't have
we
the
can,
squad.
but we can go beyond because their bench has been injured. Mention Solomon. Richarlison was out for 6 weeks. I don't know that much about their bench. But in this, it just seems to me that
9
this,
points is too much for Tottenham.
we'll see.
points.
We'll see. There's a lot of football left. We'll see.
They got Perisic out, Sessegnon, Dyer's
I think-
out.
Perisic is out for like the year. I mean, you can just like count him out.
Betancourt's out. And I got Solomon, who I don't even know who that was, but
He was.
That's not that bad.
Who was he with? Was he with? He was good. He was good last year. With I'm not really. I don't remember who he was with. I want to say he was with. It was with some mid-table team. It might have been Bournemouth. I'm not really sure. But he went through like a 6 weeks in a row of scoring goals.
He was the retarded guy in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Solomon.
You have an encyclopedic mind for movies, Ben. I haven't seen that movie for so long, but I don't know.
They have
I'm beginning to
out.
wonder if City can win the league. Their form is terrible. There's things that I don't understand what they're doing. Are they saving it up for Europe? I have no idea for the Champions League. I have no idea, but I've watched the last 2 City matches and they were very un-City like. Or like who am I? I don't know what team I'm watching here, but it doesn't feel like I'm watching City. There was absolutely no attack against Villa. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that game. Anyone?
Thank you.
Anyone?
No, I didn't see it. I saw the scoreline.
Right.
So I texted my Man City friend right away.
Yeah, it was like watching a lesser team, to be damn sure. But you know, I know Gary says that Arsenal is going to win the league. I'm guessing. What's up, boys? I'm guessing that's our fearless leader. Our fearless leader is he's having a piss or a cigarette, and he's checking in with us. What's up, Lolo? So yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I do feel, I know, that the City's not going to win. I don't know who. I know Gary is hoping that Arsenal wins the league. I know that's what he wants underneath his Christmas tree. Tony, Ben, who wins the league?
I would say I'll bet £20 that Man City still win the league.
I think City will still win it.
I
can't see beyond them. But if there's any year it's going to be someone else, probably Liverpool.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Liverpool, even though it's been kind of a slow climb, and but they don't really have a lot, going on in the extra matches, right? They didn't qualify for Europe last year, did they?
They're in the Europa League.
They are in the Europa League. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But they've had it pretty easy, apart from the one loss. But,
right.
Yeah. They're not as congested as City and Arsenal.
Yeah. I feel this season it's more like where last year I was doing the crapper because that was like a competitive race. But it seems like top 4, top 5, top 6 is going to be a pretty competitive race this season. That better than we've seen in a few years, as a neutral, given that like what was it 2 years ago? It was, City basically had it sewed up by January. They were like 13 points up.
Honestly, the top 9, because let's see, from West Ham, which is in 9th right now, to 4th, which is City, there's 6 points separating them.
Right. Yeah. It's basically it drops off after 9. Chelsea is 5 points back. It just becomes kind of a shit show down there after that.
Yeah,
but
just love to see Chelsea be shit. So
yeah, they've had some rough games.
Yeah, I was there for 4-1. It was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's enough about what City's gonna do. What else do I got today? According to our thumbnail, what's that?
How are Wolves doing? Let's talk Wolves.
Yeah, let's talk Wolves.
We can talk Wolves for a bit.
I seen your little comment when Hwang scored.
I'm gonna say this. A lot of people, when the season started and Lopetegui, like a little bitch, bailed because he wasn't getting his way, and fuck him if he goes to Nottingham Forest. We're gonna kick their asses tomorrow, and that'll be the end of Steve Cooper. I don't know why I say shit like that because I know it's just gonna go the other way. But look, man, when we had our pre-match, our preseason, who's top 4, who's getting relegated, and everyone else in the world, because that's what you do just before season. And knowing that Lopetegui was quitting or was going to quit or had quit, no one gave the Wolves a chance. You know, we brought on Gary O'Neill, and he was, you know, told, you know, he came from Bournemouth and helped keep them up, but then was dismissed right away for somebody from Europe. I think it's like Areola or somebody like that, who's actually starting to finally put it together.
Ayator or something like that.
Yeah, Ayatollah. Yeah, Ayatollah. Yeah, somebody. But you know, it took a little while. And we're doing things. We're winning games despite the lack of support. I don't know. Lack of support is wrong. Look, we're getting. I can point to 7 matches out of 13 right now that I feel that Wolves have been hard done, and I think that if you all saw the examples or you read the examples, we have 4. We've had 4 refs or officials suspended after Wolves matches. We have, I think, 5 apologies from the PGMOL, and none of that means fuck all. But despite of that, we're 12th. You know, we're doing pretty well. And we're doing well without our best player, Pedro Neto.
There should be a level of apologies, and then they give you 3 points.
Or replay it.
That's what they're costing you.
No. That's what. Is that what the Klopp wanted? He wanted like, let's replay that. How do you do that? Chris Nis says, "Hey chaps, Tony, how's it going?" So Tony, how's it going?
I was one of those beginning after 2 or 3 games. I had you brought off. Thought you was cannon fodder for relegation, but you're steadily picking up results here and there. So,
and that first game of the season against Manchester United, there was so many like, wow, if they could just hit a shot, this game would be over, because you're creating opportunities and chances. You're creating them in every game. You just clinical is not one of the things that was working with Wolves.
I think that's changed. I think that's that narrative is changing. I mean, He-Chan as one of the top scorers in the league. I didn't think I'd say that this season. He's like 4th in the league with 8 goals. I mean,
that Korean guy.
That Korean guy, absolutely. I want to like if we can have a mug that says if it's not Leeds, fuck them with James's face on it. Can we get one with Pep's face?
That Korean guy
that says and the Korean guy,
Kim Il Young.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm very happy, you know, given everything that we've gone through as a club. I mean, with what was it 2 years ago with what's his name? Who was before Lopetegui?
Nuno.
After Nuno.
Jesus.
Nuno. You can see his face. No, after Nuno. After Nuno, before Lopetegui. Anyone out in the comments, if you happen to read a paper, do you know what that guy's name is? Somebody look it up while we're talking. But you know, we went through. That guy got fired when I was at Leeds. When I was at the Leeds Villa match. Bruno Lage. I mean, at one point with Bruno Lage the year before, we were like competing for top 4. Like we were like 6th or something like that, 2 points off.
Yeah,
and then it just all fell to shit. And then like these perceived no calls and shit calls were coming against us. I mean, I remember in the FA Cup against Liverpool, there was the phantom offsides that was called, and it wasn't on camera. And then the PGMOL had said, Well, the camera was out of position, and if it was in position, we would have seen him. He was offsides, even though it went to VAR. If the camera's not in position and you go to VAR, how can you make a call on something you can't see? And it's just carried on and carried on and carried on. And this season, it just seems like it's just been terrible. But despite the fact that we're still carrying on, I mean, look, Arsenal came out hard and fast, and it was 2-0 by the 15th or 20th minute or something like that. But we kept our heads up. We stuck to our game plan. We scored, and we got those. We got those assholes, Arsenal fans, to have a little squeaky bum time toward the end.
Whoa! I've never called you anything mean like that.
I've
never called your fans anything. That was rude.
That came out.
That was really rude.
Okay, easy, Gary. Easy. That came out wrong. That came out wrong. What I tried to say was that we got it to the point where those Arsenal fans had squeaky bums, and it was squeaky bum time toward the end because you all were sweating because we were attacking. And you all were. We had you on the back heels at the end of the match. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't calling you guys assholes because y'all. Yeah,
no,
I didn't. No, that's not. Okay. It can't. No. I'd call you guys.
I always say your first thought is the right one. That's what you were thinking, and you said it.
No.
You are assholes. You're assholes.
It didn't come out right. No. Much like us old guys. Anyway, and we got a good result against Burnley. Look, long story short, I'm happy. I like Gary O'Neill. I hope he sticks around. And if Lopetegui comes in to Nottingham Forest and becomes their manager once they fire Steve Cooper on Saturday or Sunday, I will be so angry because he had a better squad with us. Speaking of which, who's on the hot seat? Here we are. We are in week 13. The seal has been cracked. Paul Heckenbottom has been fired. Bringing back Chris Wilder. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's almost to me that smelt of Frank Lampard coming in for Chelsea. Just what was that last year, 2 years ago?
Last season.
That was just sad. And I think Chris Wilder is just going to have the same result because they're both like club legends, and they're both like loved by the world. But
he motivates them a little bit better, doesn't he? I mean,
at this point,
will he motivate you? Could he motivate you? Have you watched the guy who was at Leeds for a bit? He's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wilder's got a little bit of fire in him, so he might get a few more results, but they're doomed. They're down.
Yeah, they're down.
So they're constant yo-yo team. It's pathetic.
If the seal has been broken and Cooper's next to go, who else?
Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson. That'd be like firing your grandfather.
Yeah, but I don't know why I
love that guy.
I know, but I don't get why I saw him like pop up online of like for him to go because he came back. So for you to ask him to come back and he's like, okay, like what's their plan? They don't have like a good plan. They sack Vieira and then they bring back Roy. So
and he did pretty well last year, but let's look what has happened. Palace didn't spend. They spent fuck all. They sold Zaha.
No, Zaha left.
Zaha was on a free?
Yeah.
Okay. So even worse, Zaha leaves on a free. Eze is hurt again, and this time it looks just about as bad as when he had the Achilles injury 2 years ago.
And they gave him a new deal.
I mean, exactly. What's the alternative?
Oleze, they gave Oleze a new deal.
Yeah, and I think Olise is hurt as well.
I don't think there'll be as many sackings this year. I think
I completely agree with you.
I think Luton will stick with it because regardless, no one expected them to stay up, and I don't even think they'd have expected to stay up.
Right.
Everton will stick with ice regardless because they've had the 10 points deducted. So
they're a top 10
it's
team
not-
without
it's-
those 10 points.
well, they are, but
Yeah.
they are and they aren't. They're hit and miss for me. But yeah, I can't
That says a
really
lot about
see
Chelsea,
many,
right? A billion pounds gets you, 9 points ahead of a team that had 10 deducted.
Who's actually Chelsea manager right now? Someone I
Pochettino?
really haven't paid attention. Oh yeah. He could probably go.
Yeah.
He's probably the most high pressure out of the top teams. Is his most high pressure position,
They can't let him go.
followed by maybe Eddie Howe,
It can't be a revolving
depending
door
on
there.
how.
I think
how
Eddie
it
Howe's
closes
got
out
a
at the end
lot
of
of
the season.
credit in heaven right now. I'm
Yeah.
kind of wondering who might get canned first if things go south. Although they're sneaky good this season, but but we are reading rumblings of how there's dissension in the locker room. Ten Hag is already distancing himself from Jadon Sancho. Rashford is not making starting lineups. Is who might get fired first, Ten Hag or Pochettino?
Probably Ten Hag over those two, just because they're a circus, and it's so enjoyable to watch from the outside.
He's been there the longest.
It's great.
so,
It's great.
Yeah,
Long
He's
may it
been there
continue.
the
Long may
whole
the Glazers
season.
continue.
yeah. I
Spend
hope
some
they
more
stay.
money.
Because then what? They don't have a plan. Like against
it's
Newcastle
Christmas.
last Saturday, Martial was just like he couldn't finish.
Ma, ice cream. Ma, the ice cream truck.
Yeah,
Throw down
Rashford
some
was
money. The ice
Rashford
cream
was
man is
sad.
coming.
Was that a Samsung washing machine?
it was an LG.
I've got the Samsung. Man plays a little
Yeah.
tune as well.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, just watching Man United just not be able to do anything against Newcastle last Saturday, and just none of them look involved. Bruno Fernandes just is a whiny crybaby. So, and then
Oh, he's
Casemiro,
He
shit.
always has been.
Overrated.
Varane can't get in that team, which is comical. And then Harry Maguire wins Player of the Month somehow. I'm like, what? How is that possible? So,
I mean, the coach won Manager of the Month, and the fridge wins Player of the Month.
yeah, and then
That's where the league is right now. Think about it. That's where the league is right now. That's
yeah, and then Ten Hag has to defend Onana and say he's statistically the second best keeper in the league. I'm like, who says that?
Right.
He's awful.
All right, guys. I just want to take a moment to bring in Mr. Tom, the better half of We All Love Leeds. And I'm excited to see who might be in the cup. There he is. Hey,
Hello.
how you doing, good sir?
I'm not bad. How are you all?
We are good. We are very well. I'm exhausted from the amount of matches I've been watching over the last 7 days. I don't know what my wife looks like anymore because I basically just sit in my office and watch football. I tell her I'm doing important paperwork.
It's called a man cave over here.
Right. I, here in New York or in Brooklyn, a man cave is a $3,000 luxury. To add a third bedroom, you're really asking for trouble.
Well, you just need a shed and a fridge.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, there you go.
If I only had a I don't even have a fire escape that I can crawl out on and do those things. Because then I would be fighting squirrels and pigeons.
Should move to the suburbs.
Is never fun.
Go to Eastchester.
Oh God, no. And what happens when I want a sandwich at 3:00 in the morning?
Yeah, that's not happening.
I mean, I literally walk, a half a block, and I can get a meatball sub. and it's the best thing I've ever had.
I can literally
at 3
walk
o'clock in the morning.
4 yards and get a meatball sub.
If you keep bread and butter and some sort of meat in the fridge, you can do it yourself.
Who
A
wants
novel
to do that?
concept, clearly.
But it is
Brought to you by
ingrained in
family.
our DNA here in New York that no, we have tiny kitchens, and we try not to cook because critters. Even though I have an exterminator that comes in once every 2 weeks, it's an old city and they come out at night. And my apartment's very clean.
Whoa. I live
Every
in an
2
old
weeks.
city, right? I live in the city of York, not New York. There's something that tells you about it that it's New York. I live in an old city, and I am coming out of that bullshit. Right? You live in a congested city where land is expensive.
Fair enough. Your city's clean. I've seen your city. You've shown me everything that your city has to offer, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And
it's old.
It is old, but it's also it has a better, well kept infrastructure.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it's small.
The infrastructure here in Brooklyn is awful. But what happens is that you have like I've lived in this apartment 15 years, and every single building on my block has gone through a multi-million-dollar renovation. And when there's there's constant construction, those critters are on the move because they're being pushed out of their hovels, so to speak. But I don't really want to talk about that.
I could have fucking fooled me.
Mr. Tom, we are talking about possible sackings in the Premier League. Who might be next?
Nah.
Thoughts?
But
Nah.
as Ben was alluding to, as Ben said, because realistically, with respect to them, the bottom three are set. Right, and we know that's not factually true, but the fact that it took until let's say the first week of December, or the second week, whatever you want to class it as, for a manager to get sacked once the football had actually started, that tells me that no one's actually feeling any true danger in terms of being sacked. I'm sure you've already discussed it, but I said Everton would be out of the bottom three by Christmas, and they made me look like an idiot by 3 weeks. So,
and they spotted you 10 points.
A Luton win tomorrow, though, puts them back in it.
You didn't need that to prove what you look like.
Nah.
Sorry, Tom. I'm only kidding.
Master seems to think that it'll be Vincent Kompany, and I do not think so. I think he's got a little more credit in the bank. I think that they might be a little more patient with him because because who he is, and the fact that it's their first. They're just back up into the Premier League again, and I don't know. There's still a lot of football, and Burnley they've produced a little here or there. Mr. Tom, go ahead.
It's the Daniel Farker syndrome, where basically they know the best person to get them out of the league when they are relegated will be the guy they currently have. Because if they end up going down, they'll be sat there in the Championship with, like, after Sam Allardyce, whoever the firefighter they bring in has failed, it'll be, right, who do we get? Oh, we get a guy that's already won the Championship. Who's available? Vincent Kompany's available. Oh, but didn't we just sack him? Yeah, we did. Why can't we just save ourselves the trouble by just not sacking him in the first place? Then, if he does get him out of the Championship in the next season, great. Then you give him another chance, like Norwich did with Farker. They didn't sack him when they took the first relegation. They sacked him when the second one was likely, because then they were like, all right, maybe we don't want to be up, down, up, down. But that'll be Vincent Kompany's future as well.
Right. Yeah. I think Kompany will probably be one of those that survive until like March. You know, I don't think that organization is in a big hurry. You know, they
I think they keep him.
they know who they are.
Not get sacked.
You know, if he does, what I'm saying, if he does, it's not going to be
The only
until,
way he'll
like,
get sacked is if he's caught with the chairman's daughter or something like that. It's the only way he will get sacked. Gross misconduct, but nothing to do with football.
Yeah.
Fair
Well, because
enough.
last year they played great in the championship. I mean,
I did.
They romped it.
I think like
They
what
did.
Tom just said is, well, also like they're realizing that they have to just trust their managers, because then what? Then who do they bring in? So unless they
Right.
have like a style like Brighton where they can just plug somebody in, then what are they going to do? So it's best to just stick with them. So yeah,
Well,
I'm with you on that.
I hear Nuno Santo is available. He's no longer doing things in Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Would
I
you
don't-
have him back?
Elliot, no. I love Gary O'Neill. Love what he's doing. I love the fact that the team is behind him. I love the fact that someone like Pedro Neto, who we know is injured, but in the same note, he has literally said, I want to see this season out. I want to play for Gary O'Neill. Now, at the end of the season, it might be a different story.
Would you say that at Wolves, Operation Portugal is now over?
I certainly hope so.
Because
I mean,
it was
look,
a failure.
I'm not.
It worked in
I
the first
get-
2 years, but
I
it's got
get
ridiculous.
bringing in players of that speak the language, because that helps communication on the pitch. That helps communication in the film room. That helps on the practice field. But I to be honest, I never really liked. I mean, Nuno was fine. And Ben, you said it as well, and it's how I feel. But Nuno played really boring football. It was painful to watch.
Negative, yeah.
But Gary
It
O'Neill
was effective
football
in the
is
championship, and it was
Gary
effective
O'Neill
for a
football
year.
is fun, and from front to back, we
That's
have
what the
players
game is.
that
Inevitably, right? It's not.
that can control the ball, that can go out and get the ball and do all the things. So no,
It's not a 3-point at all cost sport. It's not a get 3 points at all cost sport. It's an entertainment business. You're there to entertain.
For sure.
That's what
For
people
sure.
pay money for.
And we've got decent components. We've got a decent midfield. We've got a decent back. We've got a decent front line, whatever. But no, what I'm hating is if because he's proven his chops at Bournemouth, he's proven his chops with Wolves, and then like next year someone like he does a Graham Potter and signs on with somebody else.
That's why Leeds fans put up with getting beat 6-7-0 every week.
Yeah.
Because when we weren't playing them 6-7-0 teams, we were having a go. We were even having a go against them, but
yeah,
we were entertained. So
Yeah.
you can put up with getting stuffed by the better teams.
Right. So there's a manager who has been on the Stoop hot seat for going on about 2 or 3, 4 years, ever since we've started. In fact, I think our first season we kind of pinned this guy.
Moyes,
we kind of pinned this
Moyes-aya?
guy. Yeah, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm
Not
going.
where I was going.
And last season, despite their trophy in Europe, Italy Jet said, I would not miss that guy at all. You get a result like against Tottenham. Are you still unhappy with David Moyes?
It's brutal.
Is you want him out? Because where are they
I
now?
don't get it.
They're like 8th,
I don't get it.
7th.
Ninth right now.
Without
They're
him, they'd
ninth.
be in the championship.
Oh.
They were no. Before we stepped through that door the second time, they were only heading one place. and it weren't the Europa Conference League.
COVID saved them.
Yeah.
COVID saved West Ham.
So give me your opinion. Should Moyes be gone? Is it going to happen?
Look. They're sat comfortable in 9th on 27 points. They're not out of touch from Europe. They're in Europe. No, there's no reason to sack Moyes at the minute. They're safe for me,
I think
especially with the bottom 3 being who they are.
Sorry, Ben. That was rude of me.
No, I'd finished. Yeah.
No,
Entitled fan base, and for no fucking reason. You won a fucking trophy. Whoop-de-fucking-do, lads. What you done in the 40 years between your last one? Bullshit. Unfucking believable. Pardon my language, everyone. Sorry. Just can't believe it. Who the fuck do they think they are?
They're massive.
Gary, what's your thoughts here?
There's not much to say.
No, there's lots to say.
I don't know. They're just gonna sit in that area right there in the middle of the table. I mean, do we expect them to go up any higher than where they are now? No. So they're just gonna, they're kind of stuck in that area. I mean, they're too good to drop to relegation zone and not good enough to get into the top 5 right now. And when they do, it's like a fluke, right? They get in there and then you see what happens the next season. All right. I mean, you lose your best player. You can't be doing that in this league. Can't be letting your best player go.
I think they've done all right though.
No, they're doing all right, but you want them to build on it, right? That's how this thing works. Right.
That's going to take time, obviously, with the amount of replacements that they bought this season.
No, I know, but that doesn't make them like you want to have Rice and those replacements, right?
I get that, but
if your goal is to try to win the league,
it's easy said sat there top at league as an Arsenal fan, where very few clubs poach your players.
Well, lately, we don't even want our own players. Nobody wants our players.
Sometimes the clubs are shooting themselves in the foot. Clubs shoot themselves in the foot. They buy a good player or they raise a good player and they want him to play well, but all they're doing is putting that player in the shop window.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Rice stayed as long as he could. He did.
Have they put that money to use?
I would argue, right, and it might not be an exact like-for-like replacement, but if you could sell a player for 100 million or whatever it is Arsenal paid for Declan Rice, and then bring in James Ward-Prowse, but you've paid half, and you're still getting production out of him.
Yeah.
I don't think they spent that much on James Ward-Prowse because
that's what I'm saying.
Southampton was relegated, so I don't think that he commanded that sort of price because
I think it was 40.
I think Prowse was just I want out.
That's what I'm saying.
Chunk of change.
That's what I'm saying.
It was
they replaced their best player. You're never going to fully replace your best player. They're your best player for a reason. But they got a Premier League experienced player for half the money they got for their best player.
Right.
So they're doing well out of it, is my point. Whereas Leeds
then they got 3 players with the change.
Yeah.
Which they're all doing a job in that position. Look, taking the cup win that they got last season, Johnson's paint of Europe, but they're doing better than they were last season. They were in a relegation fight all year, and now they're not. So it was a good bit of business for me.
Well, I think Moyes will go because of their sporting director eventually, because he's buying players that he thinks. And I think he'll just find his own guy in the summer. If that'll just be the reason, is him and Moyes don't see eye to eye. Plus, they have Mark Noble as whatever he is. So,
accountant.
I will say, if you ever want to know what it's like to actually work with a sporting director, play Football Manager, but don't buy anyone. Set it so whoever your director of football is or whatever buys the players. And then you have to pick the team based on what they bring in. It's more difficult than you actually think. Because you've got to rely on being in tune with them. And obviously, Like in West Ham's case, Moyes might not think that's the case. Like Leeds were at the whim of whoever Victor Alter fancied, basically, because we didn't have anyone else in place to actually go, no, Victor, probably not the best idea to replace our best player with 3 players from the Austrian Bundesliga or whatever you want to call it.
Or the USMNT or whatever you want to call it. Operation USA. I'm glad that failed in its first year, as would have been like.
Oh, it's never going to fail because we need to promote football in this country and turn it into the cash cow that it can be.
Well,
we are at our 1 hour mark, and
they're talking about 2 different people in the chat.
We are going to take a little break. And when we come back, we're going to have betting in the dark. I think we're going to talk a little of the Euro 2024, and then we can also talk about the weekend ahead, especially the heavyweight match that is Arsenal Aston Villa. So, Director John, if we could play that bio break little slideshow, and we'll all be back in about 3 minutes. Yes, I do love that joke. Why does a duck have feathers to cover up their butt quack? You know who should have gotten their butt quack covered this past week? Old Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, no one wants to see that except for Mr. Tom. He's not even looking. He's not even paying attention. Anyway, let's bring everybody back in. Thank you all for.
I didn't get that. If no one wants to see it,
I know.
If no one wants to see it, why did you show us it?
I know exactly. That's nasty.
I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm doing here. I need my fearless leader. I need Lolo to come on. If you're watching out there, I hope everything is going well with you. With you and the West Ham boys. Bremer's Ghost says
really
has
Cyril's
TAA's got
holidays.
skitties on his skitties. I would say that he has skitties on his skivvies, and Mo Master here says that wolves are clueless. I'm not sure I resemble that remark, but sure, why not? All right, we are at the top of our second hour, and if y'all know what that means, it's time for Betting in the Dark with Mr. Tom.
Betting in the dark with Mr. Tom.
Come on, love, place your bets.
Hey guys, it's that time of year again. Cyril goes on his Christmas holidays, but I've found you a more than suitable replacement. Say hello to Derek 2.
What's up, Derek 2?
Derek
Yeah,
2.
it's part of the Derek gang. They're all named the same thing, obviously, so I don't forget. And they're obviously named in the order of when they were bought. So, got the.
I think we should
Yeah,
just
honestly.
have like little Lolos hiding out along the graphics that we put up and just be like, oh, there's Lolo. No, not really.
Note that down, John. That's a good idea.
All right, what do we got today?
Okay. Right. We're going with something nice and just again we always cleanse the palate with the early kickoff. Just something nice and simple, hopefully. We're gonna go for a rare Liverpool win in the early kickoff. Although Gandhi does say to not bet the early kickoff, but we'll ignore it for this once. Gonna go obviously so nice and simple. 3-1 to Liverpool. Salah first, probably a penalty, and then Nunes to score. And consolation for Palace. get you just under 100 quid.
I like that bet. Anyone else want to comment on this?
Darwin Binks.
Who's going to
I don't
score
see
for
Palace
Palace?
scoring.
That's the question. That's the big
Who's
question.
gonna score for who?
Palace. I know Liverpool's defense isn't as good as people they want, but it's not like
We'll go own goal.
own goal.
Yeah,
All right,
going
perfect.
on goal.
All right.
Oh wow. Mr. Tom, can you bet on an own goal? Do they have that?
Not to my knowledge, no.
I've never seen that.
That's how
That's not
bookies will.
It don't matter because that's not part of the bet. But
Yeah.
we're going on goal for the sake of the bet.
Right.
Own goal is the bookie's equivalent of like the 0-0 in the roulette.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's always the 0-0 that cooks me whenever because I like playing roulette. It's not as much of a fool's game as people might think. I like playing roulette. But you need a lot of money. You need a lot of money to make money.
Okay.
Anyone else got something to say here?
All right,
That looks about right.
All right.
Okay. We're going. No. Right. Villa have won a lot of games. Arsenal, top of the league, has draw all over it.
Yeah.
Ugh. Don't like you at all.
All over
Don't like you at all.
Right, that's right, Gary. My opinion of you fluctuates depending on what side of the bed I woke up.
I don't like you at all. That's all. Just don't like you.
And that's all right. But obviously, Saka's going to score first. Watkins is going to
I
score.
can't put that in. I'll usually put all the. No, I can't do it. Give me another one.
Well, not even for a pack. All right, we'll do
No, give me another.
2-1 Arsenal.
All right,
Is
then.
this-
No, I'll give you another one. 3-3.
No,
Yeah, I think it's goals.
You know
I
what,
don't
Gary?
want
For that,
3-3.
for
You know
that,
what?
For that, you should have to put $1 on 4-4.
If I just may, Gary, and I want you to hear me out here. If Villa can, they're a good squad. They're playing at home, and they haven't been beaten all season at home.
Yep.
So there's one. If Luton can hang 3 on Arsenal, you don't think that Villa can play Arsenal to a draw?
You think that's just a normal situation that anybody?
I'm based.
No. If you're gonna bring it up, and I give you is that more of a blip, or is that something consistent that you've seen that Arsenal will give up 3 goals in back-to-back games? Is that something you would expect to happen?
Not necessarily, but I mean, honestly, Arsenal has a goalie issue. They don't know who they want to put in goal.
We've seen situations where the other team got nothing, right? So, it could happen. It could happen. We've actually, better on the road, but
they're both capable goalkeepers, so it's not like the calamities. They just let a few goals in midweek.
But both of their last 2 matches, or both of their last matches, have been calamities, despite the results. Raya did not play well against Luton at all.
No.
And when was Ramsdale's last match? Was that against Wolves?
I don't remember, but they both like I said, I've been saying to anybody wants to listen to me.
He got very lucky.
The whole goalkeeping situation is all on Arteta. He created tension where it didn't need to be, and we're seeing results of it. We only need one goalkeeper. I'm sorry. This whole concept of we need competition, you don't need that type of competition.
Right.
Nobody wants that. Nobody's prescribing for that one. Can I have 2 goalkeepers who are the same level? No.
I think Kai Havertz was thrilled that happened with a goalkeeper.
Right.
Yeah.
So to not really interrupt betting in the dark, but Gary, real quickly, who's your preference?
I only want one. Arteta pick one and tell the world.
If you had to choose, if Arteta calls you up and said, Gary, I don't know who I'm going to put in the goal, and so I need you to help. You need to choose for me.
Don't like the question because I didn't need another goalkeeper. I was fine with Ramsdale, unless you're going to go out there and get the best one.
Ramsdale got stitched up, good and proper.
Who do you want? Did you see the little clip of video of when Raya let in a goal and the camera was on Ramsdale and he started laughing, and then when he saw the camera was on him, he stopped?
You know what? I doubt he was laughing at that goal. I doubt he was laughing at that goal. It looks really poor. It does look bad. I'll be really surprised he was laughing at a goal by his own team. No, sorry, nah. I saw it too, and I was like, "Damn, it's just not a good. It's not a good look.
It's not a good look."
I'm a skilled lip reader, and he was definitely laughing at the goal.
He was not. You don't know how to read lips.
He was secretly happy, thinking, "Here's my
You
chance."
could have gone. I don't even know how to read. You should have gone with that, Gary. That's how you know he's rattled. That's how you know he's rattled, because he didn't go for the jugular. Are you ill, Gary? Are you all right?
I'm not feeling good.
Put your hood back up, Gary.
I know.
Exactly. Things got really cold for Gary. All right, Mr. Tom, what do you got for your final bet?
My third and final bet. I see smiles underneath me. That's what she said. Anyway, so basically, I had a look at the statistics on the Spurs versus Newcastle matches, and the number that kept cropping up was 2-1 to Newcastle. For some reason, you love winning there.
I've just gone 3-2 Spurs.
Yeah, but I think generally speaking, you're in a bad way. They're in a bad way. In hindsight, I should have done Son to score first and then Gordon to score, simply because Arsenal. Spurs are the first team in Premier League history to score the first goal in 5 consecutive games and not win.
Ooh. We want 6.
And the first to do it 3 times at home and not win. And lose.
some beautiful records Spurs are knocking up there.
Oh, they're collecting them. They're collecting them.
It's usually Dr. Leeds that does that.
Oh no!
I love Dr. Leeds.
Dr. Leeds. Dr. Leeds. Oh, sorry. Gary loves Dr. Leeds.
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining The Simpsons when they did the Planet of the Apes musical. Dr. Leeds. Dr. Leeds.
Dr. Zeus.
Well, that was how we were doing it. Dr. Leeds. Dr. Leeds. Dr.
Can you
Leeds,
play
Dr.
the piano?
Leeds,
Well, I
Leeds.
couldn't before. Oh,
But yeah,
too much.
But just
too much.
That's a nice price, though.
It is a nice price, and I could see this. I can see throwing down a Lolo-esque $1.27 on this.
I just don't think it's enough goals for the 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. What Tom
That's
said
a good
few weeks
call.
ago.
It's a fair point.
Good call.
But the reason I've gone with this is because, like I said, historically it's 2-1. Like it's something like 9 times out of the last 25 or something.
Right.
It's 2-1. But also because we've had some high scoring 4 o'clock Sundays, for example, Man City, Chelsea, I thought if we're going to lower it slightly and then let it cook back up to a yeah, exactly. Like lower the average.
That's
slightly
maybe why the
before
odds are so good, because it's the 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And they're thinking,
and then we can build ourselves back up to start going for some delicious 4-3s or something.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting because Newcastle have Milan on Wednesday, and I'm really curious who he can even put out there on Sunday to begin with. So I'd love it to win.
You want to go into that game trending upwards, right? So,
setting true Gary style.
In there like with a barn burner, you know. So,
I
make it easier on yourself and just win 3-0 in the first half, and then just see it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the list.
In other words,
the list,
just beat Tottenham.
Yes.
Yeah. The list for Newcastle as far as the injury report is
12
just
people.
It's just ridiculous. The walking wounded. I mean, we've got the suspended Tonali. Nick Pope is out for the season. Jacob Murphy is out until after the winter break. Dan Byrne is out until the winter break. Callum Wilson is out until Boxing Day. Longstaff has been out. Botman has been out. He comes back just before Boxing Day. Willock is out. Barnes is out. Lascelles is out, although it looks like he might come back. Matty Target, it's just ridiculous, that list, and the fact that they find themselves, what are you guys, like seventh in the table? Guys, seventh. I mean, that's just, man, you guys are just like hunkering down, kind of in the same style. I hate to say it, but kind of in the same style of Tottenham. Sure, they were top of the table and injuries abound, but they're still hanging in there in fifth. And I believe that, I think Newcastle has a kind of a bigger hill to climb, but
because
if they can find themselves matches, they can find themselves getting healthy by mid-January, they could have something to say.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking forward to February 1st.
I completely agree.
Between the two clubs, they have 13 English players injured.
Yeah. Well, that was betting in the dark. Y'all bet to your discretion. We do not condone gambling. We do not, to be honest, we don't privy any of these bets. But I'm gonna throw a few dollars here or there.
We don't condone
Scooby Doo says might help them next season. Eddie Howe is good. I don't think he has Champions League experience. No, he doesn't, because he's a relatively new coach. We knew they'd struggle with it. I'd be surprised if they don't learn quick and beef out his squad a bit. I'm sure that will happen. I'm sure that there will be lots of loans happening from those Saudi teams coming up in the winter window. Although Ruben Neves has said, "No, I'm happy here. I don't want to come back." So, maybe he's just working on his tan, and his wife likes hiding out of sight in their compound.
Yeah, I don't think anybody from the Saudi league will go to Newcastle, because then it'll diminish their product that they're trying to beef up. So
right,
I don't
right.
think
Yeah, but I think when I saw that it went that way, that Saudi Arabia can loan out players at no, at any discretion or no discretion. I was kind of like, let's watch those loan numbers. Are they gonna be just absolute bargain basement? It's like, yeah, we'll give you Ronaldo and it'll be like $10 a week. I have no idea. All right. So moving on for our final 40 minutes tonight.
It's not surprising that all the teams that voted for it were the clubs that happen to own other teams.
Yes, that is true. Even Wolves voted for them because they are, I think they're majority owners of Grasshoppers in, what is that, Switzerland?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
They're all in
and we have a ton of players loaned out to them, and if we voted against that, then we would have a hard time getting them to get back into the squad. But a full week or a full weekend of football coming up. John, actually, you know what? I want to backtrack a little bit. Tony, you had mentioned to me that you wanted to talk about the Euros for a little bit. So I've got.
Yeah, because the draw was last weekend.
I've got this. This is from some website that is always asking for money.
I'm looking forward to the game where the team plays against.
Is that basically our qualification group?
That's not the groups.
That's not the group.
That was the qualification groups. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the qualification
fuck me. Group. All right. Well, we're just gonna take that out of there. And that was my effort to put the spotlight on Tony. Thank you very much.
I have
all of you.
I can say them. Do you want me to say them, Mark?
Yeah.
Why not?
They're the interesting ones.
All right,
and we'll play Johnny Cash's "I've Been Everywhere" in the background so that you can have it in that cadence.
All right, so Group A is.
No, if Tony's going to read the teams out authentically, we need to play porn noises in the background.
Yeah.
Because if anyone actually watched the draw.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
I did not, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, Tom, tell him what happened.
Basically, someone played porn noises in the background. But the thing is, I can't remember what other draw it was, but it was the same noises that was played for another cup draw. I think it might have been the World Cup draw. I've got that, maybe got that inaccurate. Or it was the FA. No, it was the FA Cup when it was on the One Show. Anyway. But basically, they carried on as if it wasn't happening, but it was happening, and it was really awkward. But
in the draw, Mark, at the studio, at the theater in Hamburg, you could hear
it in the background.
Not like for the TV audience.
There was like a boing.
No, like
porno being shot in the studio too.
Yeah, they were. Someone was having a great time. Let's just say.
Backstage,
it's probably the same couple. Same couple just hijacking football draw. And there's sex behind the stage.
It's a strange business behind it.
It is a strange business indeed.
It'll be on TikTok. The other side of the stage. It'll be on TikTok in a week.
Yeah,
right.
You'll be.
All right. So Group A.
Anyway, apologies.
Off real quick.
Apologies. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, John. You've saved me.
Oh, there you go.
That's why he gets paid the big bucks.
Well, I'll be kicking in a little something extra.
So, I mean, Group A, Germany have just been like an absolute shitstorm since they're hosting. So, and sacking what was it, Flick, and then bringing in Nagelsmann. So they're just I don't know. Switzerland, I think, will definitely go through. The Scots, I think the supporters care more about just being there than actually winning. And Hungary is decent from I remember the last Euros. So if Germany failed to get out of their group, it'll be absolutely comical. So,
but didn't they fail to get out of their group in the World Cup?
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were kind of shit for the 2022
They're not in a great
Euro.
place, to be honest. They're not in a good place, Germany. But they can surprise you. They can be good, but equally
right.
Can be bad.
So that's why I'm curious, like if the home crowd will just fuel them, or because Kai Havertz put it like left.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it, just to do what they did to us on their side.
They never do just okay. They either crash out embarrassingly
or win,
or they win it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
or
they're always good to make money on.
To the final. Yeah.
Yeah. They're good to
they
back.
Are a tournament team.
Yeah. Excuse me.
It'd be nice to do to them what they did to us.
Part of the reason, though, that their team is a shambles at the moment is because they've not played competitive football since the World Cup. It's actually not that long ago. But it's hard for a host nation because you just play friendlies for 2 years in the lead up to a tournament.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the United States national team is going to discover for the next 3 after they play the Copa America in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to just be playing pointless friendlies for 2 years.
Yeah, that'll be tough.
It's hard to build that hit the edge when you're playing matches that don't matter.
So we got Group B here.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Albania, to be honest, but I know they won their group, so that's interesting. And then I know they have Armando Broja from Chelsea, and then Croatia just every tournament that their veterans just show up and they somehow just make it to the semifinal.
There's a point where they fall off though.
Yeah, but I'm going to agree with Tony here. They're the Energizer Bunny. They just keep going and going and going, and they find a way. They find a way.
The format benefits them though because they don't actually have to beat Spain and Italy. As long as you generally win one game.
Yeah, win your first game.
Well, no, as long as you win one game in this, because 4 of the third place teams also go through. So
which I don't remember how that breaks down either for next year.
It creates situations where the matches actually end up quite boring.
Yeah.
Because teams try not to lose rather than win. Different in the World Cup when it was like top 2. But anyway.
Yeah, because they expanded. So yeah, I'm curious. I'll be happy if Italy could beat Albania. And then best Croatia, so that way their third match, they don't really have to worry, to be honest.
Right. I think Italy and Spain are the teams that advance here. I think Croatia's time is through.
Yeah, I don't even know who they have up front, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. Group C.
To be fair, though, in 10 years' time, I still wouldn't be surprised if Luka Modric was rocking up at tournaments.
He's playing like 12 minutes a game. He's like calling up Jamie Vardy, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
He'll be in a cryogenic chamber where he can't move off the spot, but as long as you put the pass to his feet, he's going to pick a 40-yard pass on someone's forehead.
Simpson's head in a jar.
Yes. Yes.
This one, I think Tom and Ben, I think you guys win the group, and then Denmark comes in second. Because Højlund, and then they still have Schmeichel in goals. So I mean, Denmark's just like the decent, and if
Eriksen,
Eriksen, I think they're
he's
still
healthy.
Just, decent. I don't know enough about Slovenia.
Rasmus.
If they've got Rasmus, put them 4th.
We're all right. Yeah, we're all right if Rasmus is right back.
Or maybe Serbia gets second in that group. Unless
Serbia, yeah, I was
Who
thinking
was
Serbia.
the kid? Who was the kid from Denmark that got like best
thingy
young
up front.
player the last
Mitrovic.
Euro?
Villeborn did it. Damsgaard, not Villa.
No, the one who plays
Damsgaard.
for Brentford.
Who's done fuck all,
Yeah,
man.
Damsgaard,
He's done
yeah.
fuck all since he's come to the Premier League.
it's tough. It's tough.
Leeds were looking at him, weren't they, at one point? I'm glad we didn't get him. So.
Yeah, we looked at him.
He was looked at as the replacement for Ericsson, wasn't he, at Brentford? So,
yeah, exactly.
Big shoes.
We looked at Damsgaard and thought, you haven't got enough experience in the Austrian Bundesliga for our liking.
No, so we'll go and get Aronson. Oh, Bambi.
Damsgaard, how many games have you played for Red Bull Salzburg? Well, I've played none, sir. Goodbye. Next. In walks Brendan Aronson. Right, I played alongside Erling Haaland. But are you Erling Haaland? No. We'll take it.
And then D, E, and F aren't filled out yet because they're still waiting on the playoff winners. But
right.
Of those that could,
ahead,
I mean,
there we go.
Still curious to see.
I hate that they do this. Like, do the draw once you know the fucking teams.
Yeah, because
what's the rush? Do you know what I mean?
Like, what you got to book your hotel and your training pitch 6 months in advance. What the fuck is this bollocks? Like, I'd expect it in 1996, but in a fucking day and age where like you can get a £90 plane ticket to anywhere in Europe, like within like an hour's notice or whatever. What is this shit?
Yeah, well, because then I was also reading it's like 5 days between the first group stage match, like playoff winners, and their like playoff final, basically. So if Wales,
I thought the playoff final was in like late March, and then the Euros start in June.
Now, someone on like a Welsh fan I follow like was saying how it's less than like a week in between. We'd have to look, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's what I was seeing the other day. But I didn't like follow up on it. So
sure. So there's 12 teams that are in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs, there's even a bracket for that, and I'd have to.
Yeah, there's Georgia, Luxembourg, Greece, Kazakhstan, Israel, and Iceland, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Ukraine, Poland, Estonia, Wales, and Finland. That's an awfully long list, but of those 12, who are the 3 that advance?
I expect Belgium to be at the tournament.
They're
I watched Wales beat Turkey, and they were decent, and they have Premier League quality in their side,
and they've got Leeds players.
Wow!
And Daniel James, they got Daniel James, right?
Yeah, and Ethan Ampadu, and who's the other one?
Joe Rogan.
Brendan Johnson.
Oh,
no,
is that with Wales?
Oh, sorry.
Would I
sorry, who was we on about? Thought we was on about Wales.
Yeah.
No, I just
think who's on.
I just want to know who's the 3 that are going to advance to the Euros from.
I think Wales.
Yeah, Wales
against Finland.
Wales should, because they've got the home field advantage, as they say, in both matches.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Do they play Ukraine?
I can't remember, but I remember.
I think they get Finland in the first round of playoffs, and then there's a second round after that.
Okay.
I think they might get the winner of Poland, Estonia. So,
but both games are in Wales. If Wales win,
that I couldn't say anything about.
That's interesting. I would like to see Poland go through.
If Wales lose at home in the first game, it goes then to whoever beat them. But didn't Poland go through last time and like they did fuck all?
Yeah.
I don't even think they advanced from the front, and I mean, I seem to remember somebody had like a pretty cool goal, but after that it was just kind of kind of shit.
I also think if Ukraine make it to the tournament, that all of Europe will be wanting them to win every match.
Right.
They'll have that, and they honestly could have beat Italy in their 0-0 draw for them to advance. So I think they'll
that
go.
Was definitely a penalty.
I thought they should have. I really do. Nothing against you as Italians, you know.
Basically, for anyone who doesn't know, Ukraine in injury time had a penalty shot, which should have been a penalty. And if it had been a penalty, they scored, they'd have gone through, and Italy would be in this playoff or whatever. But they didn't get the penalty, so it finished 0-0, and Italy was above them by 1 point.
Yeah, that was absolute luck. Yeah. So I think Wales, Poland, and Ukraine will go through. But I don't remember if bracket wise if any of those collide. But those are who I'd like to see go through.
I'll tell you what, I'll look it up
because it was so complex with how many freaking teams. I know Greece could be in that bracket right there with Turkey, but I don't remember. Because my Greek friends were saying already how they could play Turkey. I'm like, you have to go through Kazakhstan and
right. I've got it here.
Okay.
As said, Wales will play Finland in Cardiff. Poland will play Estonia in Warsaw. But the final match will be in Cardiff or Helsinki, depending on which of Wales or Finland win. The path B is Bosnia versus Ukraine and Israel play Iceland, and the final will be
Israel. That's just
how is Kazakhstan in Europe? You know, and in 2 years' time, I mean, I just read not just read, but a couple of weeks ago, how Saudi Arabia is trying to apply to get into the UEFA Champions League. You know, it's all going to be a worldwide money-making expenditure.
There was years ago, I remember Gibraltar kept trying to get FIFA membership, and Spain always used to say, if they get membership, we're going to pull out of FIFA or whatever it was, and FIFA would always shit themselves and go, all right, we ain't going to give membership to Gibraltar. And then I think Gibraltar realised, why don't we just ask UEFA first? And then eventually
you play in the League of African Nations.
Yeah, that's why Spain can't be in Gibraltar's groups or something like that.
Yeah, they can't play
because they'll kill one another.
Same with Bosnia and Kosovo and Serbia and
because they're ours.
Yeah. Exactly.
Spain are basically just salty that Gibraltars want to be English.
Yeah,
right.
Like the Argentinians were.
Yeah,
and still are.
And the third one, Georgia play Luxembourg, who were amazing in qualifying.
Yeah, they were fun to watch. I watched one of their matches. They were a lot of fun to watch. I was like, who the fuck is on this team?
They got more points in this qualifying campaign than they probably have in every other one combined. But obviously, they were in a group with Portugal, so obviously they weren't going to actually qualify. Anyway, they'll play the winner of Greece and Kazakhstan.
I think Gary is watching Hell's Kitchen.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
You know, all right. So I think it's
he's looking out the window, right, and he's telling his homeboys,
I think we're gonna move on to the
20
Euros
minutes.
because we've still got we've still got many years, many months before it really starts to count. I remember a couple of years ago, Lolo and I had a lot of fun covering the Euros. Oh, it was a slog because I think we did a show. We did a quick hot take after every single match, and it just I think we did something like
the joys of COVID.
We were doing 40 shows a week or something stupid like that.
That was fun. That was fun.
It was a lot of fun, and that was my first time actually really paying attention to a world football tournament. The second one being the World Cup just recently, and where I watched almost every single match. But let's move on to the weekend ahead. We have some interesting matches. We have some real duds. You know, my watch list. I'm going to start off, and I'm not going to watch Liverpool and Crystal Palace because I think this is going to be a bit of a blowout. I will be watching Leeds and the Rovers if I can try and find it. But
it's not on TV here, is it, Ben?
I don't think that. I
don't
think
know if
Palace,
it's on the,
even though it's at home.
Yet, but I'll find it.
Yeah, even though Palace is at home and they tend to be really tough there, I just don't see. I see Liverpool being a bit of a buzzsaw here, and Liverpool winning. I don't think Palace scores. This is gonna be 3-0.
Yeah, I could see that. It's a good call.
Gary?
I think it's going to be 3-1 to Liverpool.
All right. How about the other Gary?
I would like to see them actually fail on one of these early games.
Of course.
Every 12:30, should I say every 7:30 when I wake up in the morning, I'm always looking forward to seeing if Liverpool will actually lose this one because they complain about it all the time.
Yeah, Karen.
They always pull it out at the end. So maybe this will be the time that they actually fail. I'll take it. I would like to see madness, but I don't see it. I'll be happy to see a loss by Liverpool, but I think they come out slow. They might come out slow again, but I'm gonna go actually 3-1. They're gonna just finish this thing off early and not play around with their food. Just finish it off.
Right. Only because he doesn't come on and visit the show very often, but I just want a quick shout out to Bono, Houston, Bono, all the best lovely stoopers from the gorgeous quarter of Malta. I've not been to Malta, but I know many people that have, and it is absolutely gorgeous. All Leeds boy, ready for the morning match. Cool, Mark Bon. Thank you very much. Bono for giving us the shout out. Ben, you got any thoughts on the Liverpool match? You're going to be watching Leeds.
Yeah, but 0-3. I can't see Palace scoring.
Everyone has give their opinion here? I'm losing track. 5.
What's Derek?
Oh wow!
What does Derek think?
Derek, excuse me 1 second, Ben. Really? You're absolutely certain?
I think Liverpool has gone with Ben.
He thinks it's going to be a blowout. He actually thinks it'll be 3-0 to Liverpool.
Oh, good
Which
choice,
Derek.
I think he's Scottish.
Palace. What? All right.
What does Animal think?
Road Warrior Animal thinks... What do you mean you think it'll be a 7-7 draw? It's not American football. They're playing English football. Anyway, sorry. It's between me and my guys, obviously. Sorry.
Mo Master is throwing out a ridiculous score of 2-7. I could see 7. I do not see Crystal Palace scoring 2 points. Moving on to our 10 o'clock slot. 10 o'clock here in the U.S. What is it, 3 o'clock your time?
Yeah.
3 o'clock your time. So we've
3
got
3 o'clock.
Of these 4 matches, y'all know what I'm watching. I'm watching Wolves and Nottingham Forest. This is the Steve Cooper Death March. Newcastle has not been able to do, or not Newcastle, but Nottingham Forest has not been able to do anything. I think they've won 3 matches all season. I see that continuing. Wolves at home have been pretty damn good. Not getting Neto back, but I don't think it'll matter because we don't have anybody suspended. No one was on a red card last match. I don't think Nottingham Forest scores. I'm going 2-0. And I'm going to be really happy at the end of this match. Which match are you guys watching? If you're watching anything.
I'm going shopping, but I'll go 3-0 Wolves.
Oh wow.
I'll be down in London, but I'd say Wolves 1-0.
Okay, I could see that more so. Gary, what do you got?
Yeah, I got 2-0 Wolves.
He's like, I'm not watching this. I don't care.
Yeah, there's not that many. I mean, the only thing that would put a smile on my face is to see Manchester United fail again. But
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Is that a better match to watch?
No,
I
want to see chaos.
I'm picking the match that I'm watching. You guys can pick from the other three. It's just the other three. Where's the attractive match here? Brighton, Burnley, not attractive. United, Bournemouth.
Villa.
Bournemouth is playing pretty well right now. Well, we're talking the 3:00 slot. We know that Arsenal Villa is the match to watch. But in this particular slot, there's 4 matches.
What's that?
What's that?
What's championship? What's championship games?
I live in the States, man. I can't see those games.
They only put like 1 or 2 on every weekend, so they don't. They're not pushing it over here.
Today I try and watch.
Just shambolic that FA Cup TV stuff is.
Coventry, Birmingham.
Yeah,
I tried to watch that, but it I couldn't pull it up, and then it was also like the Juventus Napoli match, and I couldn't get that broadcast either. So
we're laughing, right? Because Birmingham City.
My master's watching Barcelona tomorrow. He says.
Well, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. If you're watching that, you're missing some really good football, because I don't think that's going to be very good.
My master, can you confirm that you're definitely watching Real Madrid? Because I think you're having me on. There's no way.
That's not.
Nah.
Real Madrid and Real Betis is not going to be a fun match to watch.
No.
You hate La Liga. He hates La Liga,
or whatever, and then it'll be.
No, Ben, you're right. You're right. I don't think he regularly watches La Liga, and I think he's going to be really upset when he watches the slow-paced football.
Yeah, which is
all right
for me. The most exciting. He was on about Bellingham earlier. The most exciting league Bellingham has played in is the Championship, because the Bundesliga's slow, La Liga's slow,
international
that's awesome.
Football's
slow.
Mo Master says I've never watched a football game in my life. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Can't be chirping.
All right, so here's what I'd like to do. In the last 15 minutes or so of the show, I'd like to put it on kind of a speed round here, because this is taking a little bit longer than I thought, and I'd like to skip Aston Villa and Arsenal, because I want to leave that for the real conversation. So just blurt it out. We got Brighton at Burnley. Who wins?
Brighton.
We
all in consensus. Brighton wins that one. Man United and Bournemouth.
I want Bournemouth.
Draw.
Bournemouth.
I want that. I don't know.
No, Man United wins the best result for all concerned, right? Because I think don't like Man United. It'll keep Ten Hag ticking over.
I think Bournemouth squeezes this one out in the last second. Sheffield United, Brentford at Sheffield United. What is that? Craven Cottage? I don't even know.
Brentford.
Brentford. Everyone consensus. Brentford. Bramall Lane. Brentford wins this one, as they should. Sheffield United is terrible. No new manager bounce as far as I'm concerned. Everton Chelsea interests me a lot on Sunday. I think Everton wins this one. At home, they've been tough.
Draw.
They have a huge chip on their shoulder.
Draw.
Ben, draw. Gary.
I'm going Everton.
Everton wins. Tom.
Everton 2-0.
Everton 2-0. Tony.
Everton 2-0.
All right. I'm going to even go one further. Evan Ferguson for a brace. Fulham West Ham. This could be interesting. Ben.
Okay.
Gary.
I think
Everton,
West Ham.
Fulham.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. It's,
It's
on the road.
Fulton, West Ham. Come
I'm
on.
going to draw 2-2.
A draw.
Desmond.
Okay. A Desmond, 2-2. Fulham has been scoring. Mr. Tom.
Fulham West Ham? That's got 1-1 all over it.
Okay. Tony.
Yeah, I was gonna say a draw just because of barely beating Tottenham, and yeah, I don't know. I'd say a 1-1 draw as well.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to go 3-2 Fulham.
Ooh.
Luton and Man City. Man City on their heels. An angry Luton town. They are Mad Hatters. Who wins this one?
4-0 City.
4-0 City. Gary.
I don't care. I'm going to play a Ben.
he's gonna have his show during this. Mr. Tom, what do you got?
Well, seeing as playing till the next goal wins has temporarily transferred from Man City to Arsenal, I'm going to take Luton to beat Man City.
Hey, with that slander.
We'll discuss
Stop
that.
it.
We'll discuss that later.
Slander.
Hey, Gary, what are you going to be doing tomorrow?
We got the road trip, baby. Check us out tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We'll probably be watching the game after the show. So I don't know who's going to be with me, but sometimes Mr. Tom will stay on. But
he'll be talking about how much he doesn't care about the game that's just been played.
Right.
We talk about all the games. Right, Mr. Tom?
Yeah, depending on the result of Leeds, usually dictates how enthusiastic I am about sitting there for 3 hours. But no, I've got nothing more to say. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
All right. So now we've got the match of Sunday, Spurs and Newcastle. Two teams are very, very hurt. I'm gonna give this to Tony. What do you got for us?
Say a 3-3 draw.
3-3 draw. Wow. Tom, I know you mentioned this in Betting in the Dark, but give us a little more insight, if you will.
I think Newcastle will edge it, because as much as Newcastle not doing well because of their injury issues, let's say, Spurs are on the decline. That tends to happen when your Bielsa tactics aren't going well for you. When it rains, it pours, and Newcastle are going to pour a lot of shit on Spurs on Sunday.
God, I hope so, Tom. Oh, I hope so.
Gary, what's your thoughts?
I want chaos once again, meltdown. Spurs, or I actually said the word, didn't I?
He said Spurs, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first time on our show, and I wish I had prize money to give you, but I don't.
No, I was going to say that team
struggling television
scores twice, but then they still lose. They go up 2-0 and then they still lose. I want meltdown.
When he
Ben, what's your thoughts on the matter?
3-2 Spurs.
3-2 Spurs. All right, so I think Spurs go up 2-0 and are beaten 3-2. I think in Newcastle, because Spurs have got a Spurs. All right, so that gives us the last 6.5, 7 minutes toward the end of the show to talk about what I think is the piece de resistance. And I know that Tony is excited to see this match as well. Aston Villa playing host to the mighty Arsenal. This has the potential to be an absolute fucking knockout, but in the other hand, it has the potential of being one of the most boring games you could ever watch. That could very easily end up 0-0. Gary, I'm going to let you take lead here. What's your thoughts on Villa and Arsenal?
Man, after the last couple of matches, I'm just like, they show up fast against Wolves, and then they kind of let them back in, and then they have to fight back against Luton. This one's it's a tougher team, so I have a feeling they're just going to play up for it. so it'd be a much better game from Arsenal. That's what I'm expecting after the last two weren't so
At
good.
Villa Park.
Yeah. Hey, they have a little bit of confidence from the last time they lost was to who?
Right.
So
Arsenal,
everybody keeps talking
last-
about their win streak. Well, what
Yeah.
happened right before that win streak, right?
Yeah, it's
And
very
they
true.
scored a header to put Arsenal up, and then they finished it off. So, they have that going for them. Just if you can call that strike one thing, then Arsenal can say, "Look, that's the last time you lost this to us. Why can't we go back and do it again?"
Right.
Arsenal can do it. I think it will be tough. They will have to play much better football than they've played pretty much for me this season. So, because Villa looks pretty hot right now. So, but I will say, I've been waiting for them to play a good game. I know they can score, so it might be one of those high-scoring games. Because Arsenal's slip-ups. I don't even think their defense is bad. I think they make silly mistakes every once in a while, and they're terrible mistakes. So, yeah, I'm thinking Arsenal will win this one, 3-2.
3-2. Who's giving up those 2 goals? Is it going to be the Ramsdale or is it going to be Raya?
Oh, like I said, I don't care who's in goal. I think Raya will be in goal because I believe they've already whatever deal they signed with that loan deal that they signed. Supposedly that's all supposedly gone through on all of that. So, like I said, I think Arteta needs to tell one of those goalkeepers you are the number one. So there's no question about it. And then let the media know this is my number one is who I'm going with, so that player knows, and hopefully that player will feel like they have a little bit of confidence going in no matter what they do, and they just play a little bit more. They played much better. Raya looked a little bit hesitant in that last match, and he paid for it.
He
paid
most
for
certainly
it.
did.
So.
Yeah. Tony, you had mentioned in the chat that you were looking forward to this. What's your thoughts here?
Sorry, Gary. I think Villa wins. I think Villa wins 2-1. I don't know. Emery, we talked about it like early in the season, and they're just playing really well. So I just think Villa comes out and at home, and he just Emery overpowers his former masters and wins
His
it.
former masters.
I don't even know what that means. Where do you go? What
I'm
are
not
you
even-
just like making stuff up now? What do you mean his former master? What is that?
Former owners.
I would 100% take that in uncomfortable directions.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, where is he
Right.
going with this thing?
Right. So Mr. Tom, what direction are you taking this match?
No, he's not. No, don't ask him. That
Oh no,
question.
I genuinely think that what's his name, Emery. I believe he would actually do well to get a point against his former owners. But I don't know if they'll. I don't know if they'll actually allow him to do that. Am I going too far? Is this too tasty?
No,
Yes.
no.
That's why I asked
we're
Mark
still
to
on.
stop. John.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yeah, mute
No,
him, please.
never.
No. This is my show. Tomorrow will be your show, and I will comment on.
He
on
can't
the-
mute me
the
on his
column.
own show either.
There you go.
Hey.
Tom, any final thoughts on this match?
No, in all seriousness, I think it'll be a fantastic occasion, but not as fantastic as the We All Love Leeds show, which is on Sundays at 9 UK time, 4 p.m. on the eastern seaboard of the United States. Yeah, I think that's right. I don't know. Who cares?
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so, yeah, join us then or don't. I'm not your mother, so, whatever. So...
just before we finish up, Mo Master is saying to me is that I'm following a script like I'm on ESPN. Nobody cares, man. Man, Mo Master, I just want to say, not like when you were in Mr. Tom's basement, but no one is putting a gun to your head to watch this show. We're just talking, and
I am.
Now, if I'm a little more scripted than Lolo, so be it.
Mark,
but this is what you get, and this is what you get. So,
Mark, I've literally got a gun against his head right now. That's why I've sat with my back. That's why I've got him here, because he's covering my arms. So you all can't see that I've got the gun on him.
Right. Ben, any thoughts on the Villa Arsenal match?
Well, fresh out of his Arsenal shackles and into the shackles of Aston Villa, I think 2-2.
Another Desmond.
See, Mark, this is where you went. You let this go. You let this go.
Fine.
Both the Leeds fans have gone there.
It's okay. It's okay.
Disgusting.
Hey, everybody, if you're watching out there, I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing the best I can.
Do better.
You're doing a stellar
doing
job.
just fine, Mark.
But this
Right.
is what I do.
Right.
I don't give two shits one way or the other. I myself.
It's not about that. He wants to talk Real Madrid. Let's talk Real Madrid for a minute.
We're just not going to do
he'll
that.
change his tune.
I myself am looking
Madrid?
forward to what I think might be one of the best matches of the season. If Villa was Villa City was one of the better matches of this season, this has the potential of being just even better because both teams are in very, very good form. I'm going to struggle to pick a winner. There's a part of me that doesn't want to pick against Arsenal because they're starting to put things together. But I will say the one thing, the one notch against Arteta is that he's gone back to old familiar ways. Yes, John, I'm going to finish. He's gone to old familiar ways. Last season, he stuck with the lineup and just stuck with it. Injuries happened. He made adjustments. This season, he's back to his old ways where he's like, well, maybe this guy, maybe that guy, maybe this guy, maybe that guy. Emery's not doing that right now outside of injuries. Man,
we've been forced to do it. You know that, right? A lot
I get
forced.
it.
And not like just doing it for fun. The only place we do substitutions right now is between Havertz and Trossard. Otherwise, the fullbacks have to get subbed. We have to sub fullbacks because they're getting injured.
No, you've been swapping. Lately, you've been swapping back and forth between Raya and Rambo, and I don't like that.
What do you mean?
I don't like that.
We only had to bring Ramsdale in one time, and that's because Raya could not play against Brentford. That's actually a rule.
All right, fair enough. So that renders me moot in that particular situation. But I don't necessarily agree with you there. I think that there has been opportunities to stay with the same lineup at Arsenal. It's not happening.
Where did you see this? Can you tell me where you saw that?
Can't decide between Z and
he's fact checking, Mark.
I look, man.
No, I'm telling you, the fullbacks have been switched off because of injuries.
You're not telling me. You're just saying.
Why you're the best in the business.
I'm telling you what happened. You don't want to believe
the best.
You want to just say stick with your narrative, even though I tell you why we're changing our fullbacks. Injury.
Shut the
Tommy
fuck
Yasu's
up.
been what?
Both of you. Shut the fuck up.
No, you stop it. You stop it.
All right. Here we are in another fight against another Arsenal fan.
Don't make me come over there.
This is going to be an absolute banger of a match. I almost want to go to an Arsenal bar and watch it, but not really.
It's more fun to go to a Villa bar.
Man, there's no Villa bar in New York City. It's going to be a hard fought match. I think in the end, Villa wins this one 2-1. And I'm having a hard time saying those
it's
words.
Only an opinion. It's not. We're gonna like.
We're gonna text about it tomorrow, Gary.
I don't like any of your opinions.
Mark's words.
And I barely like my own opinion.
I mean, that's
so.
painful,
So with that said, we have covered so much tonight. We have covered last weekend. We've covered the midweek. We've talked a little bit of Leeds. We've talked a little bit about how City's done. We've talked about, so much tonight. We've talked about the hot seat and for the managerial. We talked Euros. I want to thank all my guests, Ben, Gary, Mr. Tom, Tony, and just a brief shout out to Italy Jet. You said you were going to be here tonight, and you were not, you bastard. talk about that big West Ham win against Tottenham, but no, you had to do this thing called work. Everyone else that's been in the chat, everybody that's been watching our show, we all really appreciate it. If you get a minute, smash a like, send us something in the comments, send us your firstborn. Who knows? We will be back next Friday. Hopefully Lolo will be here screaming top of the table, because y'all still will be top of the table by next Friday.
If you guys get your way.
Because we're all against Gary. No, not at all. Not at all. No, Mark, we didn't talk about anything. Mo Master, why do you hate me so much? But no, I really don't care. All right, so very quickly, Mr. Director, if you could throw in that link where people can chat even further beyond this. I know I won't be here because I'm starving. I need to eat some dinner and say hello to my wife, who's been out of the house since about 5:30 this morning. If not, I bid you all adieu. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the Stoop Happy Hour. I love you all. Mr. Director, play me out.
Good night.